Now, what type of comedian do you consider yourself to be? Do you consider yourself to be a stand-up comedian?
I consider myself to be an entertainer.
Okay.
But my passion is stand-up comedy, and that's how I started, and I dedicate a lot of my passion to that. But that's not all that I do. Like even in my stage show, I incorporate music in my stage show. I like to entertain. You know what I'm saying? And comedy is something that is the purist will look at as somebody like me who I may do a parody of something involved in a joke that I'm telling. A comedy purist who just gets on stage and set up, punch might look at that and say, I don't like that. I don't like that you did that. I don't think that that's stand-up comedy. But for me, I'm just doing what I feel my gift is and presenting it in the best way that I can. So yes, I consider myself to be a stand-up comedian, but I'm not limited to stand-up comedy. I entertain, man. You know what I mean? I consider myself to be an entertainer and everything that comes with it.
What's your opinion of the state of comedy right now, in general?
Man, it's different. It's different than it was, when I was a young man, because now you got the internet. And the internet is breeding a lot of people to, get into comedy because it's a different avenue. I started in the clubs on stage, you know what I mean? And that's where I like that, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, getting in the club and getting on stage, shit is it's like boxing. It's like you sparring with the crowd. It's like, you got to get in there and they got their guard up and you got to knock that motherfucker. You got to knock them out. So I enjoy that. But, I also respect the internet side of it because, you got people who make these videos, man, and, people probably assume that it's easy to pop with these Instagram videos and YouTube videos, but it's not, man. It's not as difficult as it is just being out, in the clubs trying to get that wave because it's in person and you got to catch the right person. It's not as difficult, but it is still hard to pop with the internet, man. So I think that, the game has just changed. You know what I mean? It's changed. Now you have a different way of making yourself popular. But also, if you do come from the internet side of it, make sure you prepped for when you get out here and try to get you some live money, man, because that's a different beast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect all of the, the people who pop with the Instagram videos because that shit it's a job. You know what I mean? It's a job to get, this content and all of that. But, you know what I mean? If you're going to decide to go out here and get booked somewhere, get you some time, man, because don't nobody get you can't perform your videos live but so many times. You got to get you some stage time. And if you get you some stage time, man, you can really make a killing out here and just and be original. You know what I'm saying? Like, let your craft be your craft. You know what I mean? Don't be out copying motherfuckers. Find your lane and find your creative, your creative aura and just pursue that. You know what I'm saying? And as of right now, I think that's pretty much the biggest thing that changed is the internet. The internet has just opened up a whole nother door and lane. You got all these people who, you got like Kevin Hart, digital, Russell Simmons, who can stake claim to being the father of a lot of the, legendary black comedians that we have now who doing it digitally. You know what I mean? And, everybody's trying to just get that digital in because it's such a big wave. So I think that, it's just changed in that regard. But, you still got to be able to get out here and get on stage and get on and be a beast on that stage, man. And it's unfortunate when you see somebody who is popular on Instagram, and I've done shows with a lot of these people, and they get on stage and they don't have no time, and then they try to do the video that they just got finished watching 10 times because they was coming to see you. They don't want to see you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so get some stage time, man. And if you can do that, then because it's like, if I'm a stand-up comedian, I'm a smart comic, or I'm a person who understands the side of comedy, with the technical side rather, of being a comedian, and you study. You can put me in one of your videos and I can be funny because you can say cut and do this over and all of that, but ain't no cut and rewind on that stage. You get on that stage, it's right then and there. So, I think that once the internet side and the stand-up side kind of bridges for those people who just do the internet side, then it'll be dope. And then for the people who come out of the clubs and come onto the stage, you know, need to embrace that internet side a little bit as well. You need to, you know, have something socially that you do, you know, on the internet, because young people, that's, you know, that's what it is that they look at. Young people love wilding out. Like, I'm the shit in elementary school. I don't know how the adults feel about me, but I'm popping in third to like the first to the sixth grade, and like from the 7th to the 10th. Motherfuckers love it, but they not watching the same way that our parents watched, and they don't absorb information the same way. It's quick. It's like 1 minute is this video popping, and then, you know, 2 weeks later it's something else, and then it's so fast. So how do you keep yourself relevant, and how do you keep yourself going in an era where everything moves so quickly? You got to be able to insert yourself in these different avenues and be able to push them to where you can stay relevant with people whose attention span is like this. You know, the attention span now is 15 seconds. You have a perfect example of it. You ever go on YouTube and go to watch a video and an ad come up and you can't skip that motherfucker? It make you not even want to watch the video no more. But when you think about it, it's 14 seconds of your time. Like, you on this motherfucker, this shit lasts 14 seconds and you pissed off like, God damn it, another ad. You know, so that's how quick the attention span is. So if you think nowadays people get mad because they can't, for 14 seconds, you know what I mean, get what they want to get, you got to adapt to that as a stand-up comedian. Like, you got to adapt to that, and you got to be able to insert yourself into that world as well.
Where do you see comedy going into the future in your crystal ball?
Shit, man. Hopefully in my pocket. To be honest with you, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, honestly, man, I just hope that the craft stays the craft. You know, everybody getting offended these days about shit. You know what I mean? And me and my team, my guys, we get on stage and we go. You know what I mean? And the guys that I look up to and I respect as comedians that I watched growing up, they got on stage and they went. You know what I mean? They said what they felt and they talked about real things. So I just don't want that to be lost. But the way that the world works now and how people can get so easily offended, I think that we might be losing a little bit of that rawness that is, you know, kind of attached to comedy, and it kind of goes with comedy as coincides with being a comedian. I think we might lose some of that, but as long as there is people who want to see honesty on stage, I think that comedy will always be around. I think it's just as important. Laughter is just as important as, you know, as music. Like, those two things kind of coincide. Like, I don't know what I would do without music, and I don't know what I would do without comedy, like laughter and being able to laugh. So those things will always have a place. It's like, you know, the funeral home, the barbershop, and, you know, and the graveyard in the community. Those places will always be necessary. I think music and comedy kind of always fit, especially comedy, kind of fits in that as well.